My name is Professor Gail McConnell. I am Professor of Biophotonics at the University of Strathclyde, where I'm based in the Strathclyde Institute of Pharmacy and Biomedical Sciences. Strathclyde Optical Microscopy Course was born of the legacy of the Plymouth live cell microscopy course that started in the early 2000s. I was very fortunate. I was one of the students in the early version of the course in 2004, which dates me horribly. But it transformed my career. It's not an underestimate to say that. It gave me opportunities, allowed me to network and meet lots of people that I would never have met in any other way. For that Plymouth course, in later years I became one of the lecturers and then one of the organisers. And the students that I saw coming through the course had very similar experiences to me, where the impacts were more than they could have expected. The course sadly ended around the same time as the COVID pandemic, and interim to that, I was receiving emails from group leaders, facility managers across Europe, worldwide, that were saying, when is the Plymouth course going to run again? It would be fantastic if we could, if I could send my student the course, if I could come to this, it would be great. I've heard great things. My supervisor was there, they speak very highly of it. And that gave me the idea that actually there was potentially demand. So then I managed to convince another few organisers, including Brad Amos, who started the Plymouth course in the first instance, and to earlier career researchers, Liam Rooney and Shannon Foylan, who are based in the same institute as me at Strathclyde. And uniformly we felt that this was going to be worth trying. So we set up advertising, put together a programme, convinced lots of companies to sponsor us, because we can't do it without commercial sponsorship. Some of the learning societies got on board, including the Royal Microscopical Society and the Company of Biologists. And we advertised and students applied, and I was more than surprised when we had approximately 3 times the number of applicants for each student place that we had available. We extended the numbers of the course to the absolute maximum so that we could bring as many people as we could. And we have students from across the UK, Europe and the US that will be joining us in the next week. We've designed the course such that it's 5 days of lectures and hands-on practicals where the students can really get into the guts of the microscope, where they can take it apart, put it back together again and understand how it works. It's safe to say that without industrial support there would be no Strathclyde Optical Microscopy course. We only have a course because of the financial sponsorship that's been given to support us in order to keep the student registration costs low. It's not quite zero, but it's not far away from zero. The other key thing that the companies bring is, frankly, equipment. So we have at the Strathclyde Optical Microscopy course approximately 12 basic microscopes equipped with bright field transmission, phase contrast, differential interference contrast. We have light sources, we've got multi-line LED engines, we've got lasers, beam profilers, filters. I mean, I could go on almost infinitely as to the amount of basic equipment that the companies bring that the students will be able to use. The other thing that companies bring are people. And certainly as an academic who's been an academic for a really long time, I lose track of what it might be like for a student who potentially wants to go and work in industry. So the course, while it gives the students the opportunity to interact with each other, also gives them the opportunity to spend time with the companies and understand how they work and what their challenges are, where the opportunities might be. That can filter through into their own research aims, but it can also lead to career development and opportunities in that space. I think there is space for a course that includes both of these aspects, both the basic training, making sure that students have that fundamental knowledge, but also broadens out into these more advanced methodologies like laser scanning, light sheet, super resolution, localization microscopy. And in this year's course, we have a little flavour of that from some of our lecturers like Susan Cox, Shan Cully, Lucy Collinson, Ralph Bauer, Bob Edkins. We touch on some of those more advanced methods, but I can see the future being more applied, hands-on practicals, a longer Strathclyde Optical Microscopy course to give all of those insights into all of those different types of method, not just at the lecture level, but also in practicals. But if we can make a bigger course that includes those plus the higher end advanced techniques, then I can see that that potentially has a much greater impact.